Okay, so we're going to get started on questions 1 through 5 here for your week 3 daily dose. So, let's begin. Remember, you always begin with the questions. Today's standard is EMI 502. So we're looking at data here, but we're still doing the justification standards. So, if we go here, the first question says, based on figure 1, is it justified? So I'm going to go to figure 1. Is it justified? So can I conclude that dairy cows produce the least amount of milk, so the lowest, during the summer? So that'll be June through September, right? Middle of June through middle of September. So I'm going to look at these summer months. Now I'm going to go to figure 1. So if I go to figure 1 is right here. Then I'm going to go to June and July and August. So this is the summer. Now, when are these the lowest? So I'm going to trace the tops here so that it's a little bit easier to see. So for site A, they're definitely the lowest in June, July, and August. And for site B, they're definitely the lowest in July and August. So, I'm going to go with yes, because the daily production of both herds in July and August. So I know it's a yes, so I can cross off the no's. And now let's see. So yes, site B did produce less milk. That's a true statement. But I want to know that dairy cows in general, not anything about site B versus site A. So I want something that mentions both herds. So the answer here is A. Number 2. According to figure 3, is it correct to conclude that the herd was fed conventional feed, so conventional feed, contained more cows than the herd that was fed organic feed? So according to figure 3, that's right here that I'm going to look at. So, is it correct to conclude that the herd was fed? So the first thing that you do is you read the question, right? And then you're going to highlight where to look, and the variable you're looking for. So that in question 1 was the least amount of milk. This one is the number of cows. Then you go to section, determine yes or no, and then you're going to go back to answer choices. So then you're going to go pick reason in answer choices. Remember, I always write answer choices as ACs. So according to figure 3, is it correct to conclude that the herd that was fed conventional feed contained more cows than the herd that was fed organic feed? So first off, I'm going to look at this, and my axes are months and daily milk production. So is the number of cows on this diagram? Then I'm going to go back and see if I have any information here. So if I read the first sentence on this passage, I don't actually see anything about herd size. So the amount of cows is not mentioned. So what I'm going to go ahead and say no. Okay, so I'm going to cross off A and B because I don't see the number of cows anywhere in figure 3. Now, no, because herd size cannot be determined from the information given, is going to match that. It's not mentioned, cannot be determined, right? So even if it produces more milk, that doesn't tell me anything about the number of cows. All right, based on figures 1 and 2, a farmer living near site B concluded his herd would produce more milk in the winter, so that would be December to February. Is his conclusion justified? So I'm going to go to figure 1 and 2, and then I'm going to look at site B. So I'm flipping back to this page. So site B, that means I'm looking here. So the average temperature here, figure 1 and 2, I can see that the temperature is higher in the summer and lower in the winter. So high and low. Now let's look at here, figure and the milk production. So we already know right here that site B, the black bars is what we're looking at, has lowest milk in summer. Then I'm going to look at site B in the winter. So that means January and February are right here, and then December. These 3 bars are higher than any other bars, so it's going to be highest in winter for site B. So now let's see what we have here. So this says produce more in the winter. So I want it higher in the winter months. That's what we saw in the graph. So that's going to be a yes question. Now let's pick this. Yes, because cows produce more milk when the temperature is lower. If you look back here, low temperature, high milk. So the answer there is A. All right, we got 2 more left in this particular one. So number 4, a farmer is considering switching her herd from conventional feed to organic feed. She predicts the amount of herd her milk produces will decrease as a result. Based on figure 3, is her prediction correct? So that means that organic, if it's going to be a decrease, organic will have less milk than conventional. I could have fit that on my line. So organic has less feed than conventional. Let's go here. Conventional feed is the white bar, and organic feed is the black bar. Every single value for this graph, the white bars are higher than the black bar. So that's a yes question. So I'm going to cross off C and D. Now, yes, because her herd size will decrease. We don't have any information about size. No size here. We have milk production and months. So the answer there has to be B. Yes, because the organically fed herd consistently produced less milk, right here. You can see in the graph. And our last one for this particular question. So, based on figures 1 and 2, a student concludes that the daily milk production of a herd always decreases as temperature increases. Is the student's conclusion correct? So we're going to go back here, and this is going to be the hardest question on here because it's an always question. So, always decreases as temperature increases. So let's find one where we see increasing. So that's a decrease, that's a decrease. Let's look at March to April. That's an increase. It increases in April. Now let's look at March and April. So the temperature increased and the production increased. Now what about August to September? So August to September, that's a decrease, so that one follows the rule. But we did find one exception here. We found a March to April exception. So, we're going to go with no. That's not our answer, and now let's figure out why. No, site A is consistently cooler than site B, and daily milk production of the site A is consistently higher. That does not have to do with the temperature months, because this compares A and B. And we don't want to compare A and B. We want to compare temperature. So our answer is no. From March to April, daily milk production increased at site B.